Hey everybody, thanks for being here. We're about to start here in a second. I'm trying to rotate the camera, but I don't know if it's going to work, so we'll do our best. Get a little different angle here.
Oh, you were taping it the whole time? Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. I got it. Yeah, I'm good.
I'm big feet. That's what I almost did that on the stage.
don't want me to say your name from the podium, that would be a great time to grab a seat, find a comfortable place to stand.
So we're going to be coming back in a few minutes. They're going to give a couple remarks, I think, for like 5 minutes, and then we're going to come back and probably play another 20 minutes or so, just so you guys know. And then after that, there's like a bunch of inspirational speeches and stuff like that tonight.
My name is Heather Esch, and I'm the board chair of Soteria, and it's my distinct and humble honor to welcome you of this night to celebrate 25 years of Soteria. I've known Jerry Blasingame for a little over 10 years. And like most of you, I was immediately struck by his passion and his compassion towards bettering the life of his fellow man. And maybe like some of you, there's someone in my life who was impacted by incarceration. And sometimes, just sometimes, I've wondered, how might that person's life have been different if there was a Soteria there for them? And that's why we're here tonight. Because we, you and I, the donors, the volunteers, the staff, and the interns, we care about individuals and families who have been impacted by incarceration, whether we've known them personally or not. We want these men and women to become the best version of themselves and to become a thriving part of our vibrant community here in Greenville. And you can't talk about vibrant community in Greenville without talking about the artists. And tonight we have a special thank you to the artists of Oye Studios. Oye is a studio that's located in the North Main neighborhood. And tonight there are originals and prints for sale from many of their distinguished artists. If you purchase a print, all of those proceeds go directly to Soteria. And they want me to mention that if you purchase the print, you don't have to keep up with it all night. They're happy to hold it for you at the checkout table. So we're gonna enjoy some jazz, some food, some amazing creative storytelling that tells the story of Soteria. But before we get started, I want to take a special moment to thank our platinum sponsors, without whom this night would not be possible. I'm going to give each of them just 2 minutes to say a few words about their relationship with Soteria. Pamela Bryant from Wells Fargo. She here? There she is.
Good evening, everyone. Can we give a big round of applause for Soteria? What a special evening. I am so thrilled to bring greetings on behalf of the Wells Fargo Foundation, and so excited that we have an opportunity to share this evening with Soteria. It's truly an honor to stand before you today as we celebrate 25 years of Soteria. This milestone represents more than just time. It symbolizes a journey of impact, dedication, and collective efforts. Over the past 2.5 decades, Soteria has overcome challenges, no doubt, celebrated triumphs, and most importantly, built a legacy that touches countless lives. From humble beginnings, Soteria has grown into a force of change. Thanks to the passion and dedication of Jerry Blasingame and his team, and the support of great friends and partners, and of course the trust of those that they serve. So tonight we honor Soteria. I am so excited that Wells Fargo not only has an opportunity to sponsor this great celebration, but also to support Soteria's work in helping the individuals that they serve achieve housing and stability. So again, congratulations. We celebrate the past, we celebrate the present, and we celebrate your next great 25 years. Thank you.
Our next platinum sponsor is Karen Fountain.
Welcome everybody, and thank you, Jerry. Also a shout out to my chainsaw heroes, Oscar, Robert, Patrick, Esau, and Jerry. Thank you. Where will Soteria go in the next 25 years? I have a suspicion that one of the things that we should consider is something that was first brought up in 1971 by Fannie Lou Hamer at the National Women's Political Caucus when she said, "Nobody's free until everybody's free." I would like to pledge $1,000 to help change some of the laws in the state of South Carolina so that previously incarcerated people who have paid their debt to society become truly free. As Reverend Martin Luther King once said in his letter from Birmingham jail, just because something is legal doesn't mean that it's right. Thank you.
And now I invite up Seth Kane from Village Church.
Jerry is a preacher, and I recognize some other preachers in the room, and you guys know it's hard to even clear our throats in 2 minutes, so we'll do our best. There's so much to love about Soteria, not least of which or whom is Jerry Blassingame himself. I mean, the guy is in a dinner jacket and Adidas Sambas tonight, so that says a lot. I'm really thankful for my friendship with him. So much to love. It's a ministry that is about the dignity of everybody, which matters. It's also about redemption. It's about hope. It's about second chances and forgiveness, which we all need, no matter what we've experienced, whether in our nearest relationships or in big events of our lives. We all need that. So I'm so thankful for Soteria because that's what they stand for. I'm really thankful and blessed, and I love Soteria because it takes courage to be this kind of ministry. It takes courage. We're talking not just about people who are forgotten, we're talking about people who are often despised and underrepresented, and Soteria represents and does so many wonderful things just to add hope and dignity and to recover the beauty and to redeem the beauty of every person, and thankful for that. Again, such a courageous ministry, and I'm personally thankful and love Soteria because it hits home to my story. My dad, when he was 21, was incarcerated for 17 months for being an accessory to a crime, and it was a felony, and it changed the course of his life and my life forever. And so I watched the way in which that brand, that mark, that unforgiveness really that our society cast upon him affected his life for really the full course of his life. And so I'm thankful for not only the ministry of dignity and of hope, forgiveness, redemption that Soteria is about, but I'm thankful that it gives me hope that kids like I was growing up and others will have the blessing of ministries like this, but really will hopefully move to change our society and to really address something that it's just simply not just to ask someone to live their lives marked by their own failures, their own need for forgiveness, and our society's unwillingness to do so. So I'm thankful for this ministry. I'm thankful for you, Jerry, and all that you're doing. Glad to be a part of this.
So our program is going to start shortly. So take a minute, refresh your drink, go ahead and decide which art you're going home with, except the one I picked out. No one tell my husband. And we will get started in just a few minutes. There's several seats up here at the front. Find a comfortable place to stand. We're getting started for the evening.
You're good.
Dear Bill, praise the Lord, my brother, in the name of Jesus. This is truly a blessing, being able to correspond with you and members of your church. Let me tell you a little bit about myself. First of all, I'm a 29-year-old father of 3. Oldest son is 8 years old, and my youngest son is 3. I also have a stepdaughter. She's 7. I'm recently divorced due to my incarceration, serving a 20-year non-violent sentence, which means I should be getting a break. I have a job here in the school as a teacher's aide in the computer lab. I enjoy helping other inmates get their GED. Praise the Lord. There's no way that I could do this time without Jesus in my life. I rededicated my life to the Lord on April 14, 1995. I never looked back since. Main goal is life now is to live a productive life for the Lord. No one said it was going to be easy, but I put my trust in Christ because He strengthens me. There's no place I'd rather be right now than here. This is God's will, and He will release me as soon as the time is right. God's time is not our time. I've found my place in the body of Christ, and I have a duty to fulfill. I'll be praying for you. Feel free to write anytime or have any member of your group write. Your brother in Christ, Jerry, blessing him. This is a letter that Jerry wrote to a Sunday school class at Clemson United Methodist Church. Class had pen pal with Jerry throughout his time in prison, encouraged him, and became an unwavering source of support. At the same time, Jerry was studying the Bible and was most inspired by Paul's letters to the churches, many of them written while he was in prison. Jerry's devotion to Scripture changed him, and the Sunday school class witnessed his transformation. He told them that he wanted to go to seminary. They sang. When he started a nonprofit, they continued to support him. Not only financially, but morally and spiritually. Those of us who work in the nonprofit world, you've got to have support. To this day, the Clemson United Methodist Sunday School has had a member on Jerry's board throughout that time. Good evening. Okay, I'm from the Low Country, and I'm a black clergy person, so I'm accustomed to call and response. Good evening. My name is Bernie Mazie. I had the good fortune of serving as President and CEO of the South Carolina Association for Community Economic Development, better known as SCASA. As I mentioned, I'm also an ordained clergy in the United Methodist Church. And so I have the good fortune to kind of guide us through this journey this evening that we'll be having. You heard a story and a letter written by Jerry to Clemson United Methodist Sunday School, and he wrote that letter to Bill Dollar, a member of that Sunday school class, and we're blessed to have Bill here today. So we're going to invite Bill up to come and share a few words about Jerry. Let's help him up with
Hello, folks. It's such an honor to be able to stand here and extol the virtues of my friend Jerry Blacksingay. Has it really been 25, 28 years? It doesn't seem like it, but yet we look back, most of the class that supported you is gone. They left, they changed address. But there's a few of us left. We're glad to be here. It did all start with cookies, and I baked a batch, Jerry, in celebration, so have one tonight in memory of that. We were encouraged to send cookies at K-Ross weekend when each prisoner was to get a dozen cookies. And I enclosed a verse of scripture and my address and said if you want to correspond, that'd be fine. I got a letter back, as you heard Bernie read that letter, and read it to the class, and we wondered about this guy. Is he for real? Or what's the story here? So my wife and I went down to McCormick Prison to hear him preach. And we decided he's for real. He sounded he was good, and we believed in him from then on. So we helped with the Bible class, and Doc Yandel wrote letters to help with a parole, and he got out in 3 years on parole from a 20-year sentence, which was remarkable. We thought that was very good, and glad we could help. You remember some of the class members, Frank Wally, and Walt Castro, Dr. Bill Hunter, Don Bruce Yandel, Henry LaFord, Terry Barber Clark, and my wife Dorothea. They were all part of the journey, and I'm pleased to acknowledge their faithful support. We placed our faith in you, and you didn't let us down. You came through. We're so pleased and blessed to be a small part of your successful journey. We pray it will continue, and we'll be behind you all the way. Hooray for Soteria! Hooray!
Look at what a simple letter can do. Power of words on a piece of paper, but those words were infused with passion and a commitment to a life to be in service to others. Because this class dedicated to write to a man in prison, they changed not only his life, but the lives of his family and over 8,500 lives that Soteria has served with housing, education, employment, affirmation, and advocacy over these 25 years. So this evening is an evening of reflection, inspiration, entertainment, and love. Through music, poetry, and storytelling, we will take you through the challenges and triumphs that shaped this organization that we call Soteria. Whether Soteria was building in the early years, retooling after setbacks, or thriving as you see it now, Soteria has contributed to be an inspiration of resilience, unwavering dedication, and heart. Now, I met Jerry in a restaurant in Columbia, I think. Jerry contacted me and said, can I meet with you? I want to talk to you about this organization, this nonprofit that I want to get started. And if I can recall, you and I had more hair back then. And as Jerry, we sat down and talked, and and if anyone ever had a conversation with Jerry, it's not going to be one of just a simple, how are you doing? You're going to be infected with his passion and enthusiasm for this vision that he had. And he said he wanted to create a nonprofit. He told me his story of incarceration and his journey and what he wanted to do to help those that were returning citizens from incarcerated, those that are returning back to society and to their communities. And as he told me that story, I said, there's something here. There's something here. And what came to mind was the scripture that's found in Luke 4th chapter, 16th verse, where it says, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom to the prison and recovery of sight to the blind, to set the oppressed free, and to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor. That's what came to my mind when I left that meeting with Jerry. Conversation led me to believe that this brother is called into this ministry. It's not just a job, this is a calling. And if anyone you know about callings, there's not always a straight line. There's not always good days, but there are going to be challenges. But there's something about that calling that you can't let go. That's right. And you've got to do something. I'm just going to share one more reflection, because it's the only time I'll have to do that. But Jerry showed me an area that he wanted to have an impact on. Somewhere here in Greenville, I couldn't find it now if you told me where to get there, but he took me there one time, and there was a house that was there. I think it was maybe one of the first properties y'all had, and it had some gentlemen there that were recently released from prison. He shared with me the vision of what he wanted to have happen there, and I said, this sounds great. And I left and went about my business, and we had some conversations, and I can't remember how long it was, but and I think I may have introduced you to a few folk. But when he invited me back, he said, I want you to come to a ribbon cutting that we're having. I said, okay. And so when I drove and down the road to get to this place, because I was somewhat familiar with it, for some reason, the trees seemed to just divide. And I happened upon nothing but new houses that were being built. Some of them were already built. And these houses and the community that I was seeing there was just transformed from the first time that I was there. And it was really like parting the Red Sea and seeing the Promised Land. Now, Jerry, if I recall, that was the neighborhood you grew up in. That was the neighborhood I think you saw your mother leave us. So to see a community that for Jerry was an area of tragedy become an area of transformation, powerful. And I think that journey of Soteria has just been on that track of transformation and changing lives. So that's some of my experiences with Jerry and Soteria, and many more that I'm going to go on. So we're going to have tonight poetry and testimonies. You may know, or you may not know, that Jerry was a rapper and a breakdancer in the 80s and 90s. That's when I could move a little bit. While incarcerated, he journaled and literally wrote his way out of prison. Writing fuels his imagination, which became a tool of survival while incarcerated. Tonight, you'll be hearing a few of his poems. Derek.
called When the Chains Came Off. When the chains came off, I was still behind bars. Lying in my bunk at night, I could still see the stars. Driving cars was my favorite thing to do. My imaginations is what got me through. Picture this: incarcerated, decapitated, my head cut off, but still in my right mind. Who would have thought that I would be doing time? Count time! 1981-53. That's the number that the state gave me. They slaved me, betrayed me. I found my piece of the book. Believe in what I can't see. I made you look. Who would have thought that my words matter? Excited. It's mail call. I may get a letter. I'm building. Thinking of the future while locked in a cage. Faith is the key. She tamed the rage. Setting goals, pursuing purpose while setting the stage. Hope is for the future. So it's time to engage. The next piece is called Nothing New. Chaos tries to break the thing that God creates. Faith demonstrates the uniqueness of his weight. My heart palpitates every time I take a break. When I think about the souls that have lost their souls, all the drugs I sold, and the stories never told. Oh, this stuff gets old. I must find myself, set some goals. Boys and boys and boys for days, packed in cells, different ways. Some stays, some goes. Who knows when they be back again? The door revolves, the crime's not solved. The boy is still engaged. Then rage again. Can we stop and fix the clock? The sin is when we watch and grin. We just pretend we never win. When we incarcerate and don't educate. Let's get it straight before it's too late. She was never great, but the slave that ate blood and tears. 400 years. Cheers. Still drinking beers. Drowning Trump. Dropped by mama. Lay low and fall and spring forth in summer. Year after year, there's nothing new under the sun.
Gifted, young, gifted, and black, powerful. Reminds us never to assume you know someone based on the package that you see. You also never know what life's experiences will be able to give you a message for others. Powerful. Powerful. People can be rays of hope in dark places, some where you least expect them. For Jerry, one such person is Betsy Lybrand, former Associate Division Director of Inmate Services for the South Carolina Department of Corrections when Jerry was incarcerated. Betsy's resume shows 20 years of service to the the Department of Corrections with a slew of positions, volunteer work, and accolades. We don't have time to name them all. But instead, we have a letter from her father written in 2003 after he had been diagnosed with lung cancer and given 6 months to live. It says this: my lovely, wonderful daughter, remember when you were overwhelmed by the plight of the inmates at Bushy Mountain, a maximum security prison for men in Wartburg, Tennessee, almost 30 years ago. It's now been almost 50 years. You devoted your professional life to the happiness and well-being of prisoners. Your dad, I've had the privilege of watching you spend your life in this amazing dedication to them and devoting much of your spare time to a number of organizations for their benefit, changing the way. I'm proud to be associated with you, so for now, I'll just remind you that I will love you forever, my darling daughter, Dad. Betsy now will share her reflections on Jerry.
Unbeknownst to me and Jerry, in 1975 is when I toured Brushy Mountain Prison, which is where James Earl Ray was housed, who murdered Martin Luther King. In 1975, I suspect Jerry was 8. 7, 8. I came into a prison realizing that, wow, they're just like me, they're human. There's no big green spot in the middle of their forehead. They're not alien, they're people. So I came across that in 1975. Jerry also experienced something, but he experienced something at the age of 5. So our paths were going in the same direction. I was in Tennessee and he was in South Carolina. I was making my way through, how can I help take the bricks one by one away from the prisons? What can I do? I'm just me. So I went into the profession and I've worked there. And as I'm leaving, I meet this wonderful person. And we automatically, we click. Jerry was introduced by another gentleman who wanted to encourage me that as the person who made decisions about who could come back into the prison system, wanted to encourage me that Jerry was one of those people. Jerry had served time. And a lot of people disagreed with the fact that somebody who served time, why should they come back in? They're just going to bring in drugs. They're going to bring in cell phones. They're going to help the people escape. Why should they be given a chance? They should be. They've been there. They know what it's like. They can interact with that person and give them hope. Jerry gave so many people hope. He gave me hope. Jerry has gone through many trials and tribulations in his life. He's gone through many trials and tribulations with Soteria. There's been many obstacles that he's had to overcome. There's been many obstacles that his residents have had to overcome. It's frustrating to me 50 years later that some of the same things individuals were facing then still face that now. To know that Jerry is still looked upon and questioned, even though he's received a pardon, makes no sense to me. I've always felt that it's by the grace of God that I'm on this side and never was in prison. It only took one time for many people that I worked with that they picked up their phone and looked up in a car accident and the other person was killed. So how am I different from that? How are you different from that? Jerry and I were part of a program, a committee that came together with so many different individuals who had served time, and we called it Changing the Way. And he has been a model of that this entire time. Changing the Way is not just our perspective, but it's exactly what Jerry's been trying to do. It's that we've got to change legislator. We've got to change the laws. We've got to change how we look at people who are going to be incarcerated and why, and are the sentence length accurate, and what happens to that person when they come out. Well, Soteria fulfills a lot of that, but the stigma, it's got to start now with change. I was so overwhelmed when Jerry called and asked me to speak and share my love of him, because it is deep and it has always been there. I am so proud of you. It scares me when I hear different things about that Jerry may step down. But I have to remind myself, if he steps down, there is somebody who can fill his spot. And Jerry will continue to change the way.
Next piece is called Retooling. We left like Egyptians treading the sand. All we had was clutched tight in our hands. Understand, we had no idea where our feet would land. Trusting God, I had a dream. I'm exhausted, tired, and losing steam. Prayer was my beacon, an undoubting theme. Scream! Sometimes I just need to let it all out. Transition is a dark place, and I still want to shout. It was prayer that made the seeds of faith sprout. Believing in something that I could not see. Moving on a dream that was dear to me. I'm out of place. 210 Shaw Street was the place to be. 24/7, we sought his face, not understanding it was only by his grace. Staff members leaving, my board erased, bills piling up. You led me to this place. I prayed, I believe. Is this all I get? Keep asking, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. In the Big Apple, rubbing shoulders with thieves, pulling our heads together for the things we would achieve. If only we would believe. Sometimes you need a green start for Soteria at work, a bookkeeper, marketing, and a wide network, a community that cares and write big checks, handshakes, kisses, hugs around the neck. Oh, what the heck. We thank God for the valley and for the mountaintop. This is just one part of my story, just one bus stop. All right.
For those of us who are people of faith and we travel life's journey, we realize God puts people in our path for a reason. I had no idea when I was a raving lunatic serving on advisory council of the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta, that I would meet someone that would have not only an impact on my life, but on Jerry's life as well. Deborah McKay was that person working in the Federal Home Loan Bank of Atlanta, living in Atlanta. And at some point in time, she decided to return to Greenville. For whatever reasons, I think family brought her to Greenville. And there began a journey and a relationship that has transformed so many lives in this state. Currently, she serves as president of the South Carolina Community Loan Fund and ensures that this highly productive day-to-day organization is able to have an impact on the dreams of so many in this state. She maintains general oversight of internal operations and helps establish and execute the organization's priorities. Deborah has over 30 years of experience leading community development organizations and programs. She brings a depth of knowledge and experience, having founded and served for 12 years as president and CEO of the Greenville Housing Fund, which later became known as Community Works Carolina. She's an alumna of Furman University's Diversity Leadership Institute, currently serves on the board of organizations such as the South Carolina Community Capital Alliance, South Carolina Community Economic Development, South Carolina Small Business Chamber of Commerce. Some of you may recognize Deborah as having been named one of Greenville's 50 most influential leaders. Please join me in welcoming Deborah McKay.
Good evening, everyone. I am delighted, and I know most of you are, to be here to celebrate 25 years of amazing work of an organization that we've all grown to love and cherish, and to celebrate this amazing leader, Jerry Glassengang. And Jerry, I know you're multi-talented, and I know you've done a lot of impressive things, but a poet too? Oh my gosh. I am sorry. Just talking about when I first met Jerry, and I think it was during the CDC movement when we were trying to help organizations like Soteria become CDCs, and I think, Bernie, you actually connected the two of us when you were still with Redemption. And of course, we were all very impressed with this man with a vision who was doing some really tough work that none of us really had the courage or really the knowledge or the background to take on. And I'm gonna tell you, Jerry was doing this work before it became cool, when it was really hard, before the labor market shortage where all of a sudden we could find jobs. Before that time, Jerry had to create jobs for the men that he served. One of the things I was so impressed with was not only his vision, his godly vision, but his commitment and dedication and know-how. Unlike a lot of nonprofits who kind of look for grant funding and, you know, the continued donor support, he's like, look, I want to be a social enterprise. And I was impressed because a lot of nonprofits at that time didn't know what a social enterprise was. And that's a nonprofit that actually behaves and earns revenues through business activities, but pours that money back into the nonprofit. So that was very impressive because at that time, jobs were not available for the people that he was serving. So it's true, I met Jerry at a very, very dark time in the history of Soteria. He had lost most of his board members, he had this vision, he was, you know, really very desperate almost about where do I take this work next? I don't have any money, the support that we had, the infrastructure we had has gone, and so we had a conversation. And I was so impressed with the commitment that this man had, the vision, and he was gonna make this happen no matter what. At the time I was with Community Works, we were a mission-based lender. We did community development finance. And so he said, Deborah, is there anything you can do? Can we get a loan from you? And I'm like, well, Jerry, you know, we're a lender, so kind of what you got? You got any collateral? So he said, well, yeah, I got a few houses. And I'm like, okay, but let's talk more about not just the loan, but what's your vision? What's your plan? How do you start rebuilding the board? And I was so impressed that he really laid down that vision of how he was going to retool, how he was going to rebuild this organization. He just needed resources. So we were able to convince, you know, our board, our loan committee, our staff that this is an organization we're supporting, providing additional support, and that's pretty much what CDFIs do. But then we went beyond that. One of the things that was clear that Jared didn't have the social capital. He had a lot of ministries behind him, a lot of well-meaning folks who were supporting the work. But philanthropy, he was not on the radar. So a lot of our, foundations didn't know about the work. And so later I was able to pull a lot of our philanthropic partners together, the Hollinger Funds. I know Tammy Spann is in the room. I think Eleanor Dunlap is here, Tish McCutcheon and Jolly. And we actually, engaged was in that meeting. And I'm like, you've got to hear this, man. You've got to hear about this work and why this is important for the community. And kind of based on that, philanthropy was able to come together and give Jared the support that he needed, that infrastructure he talked about. Because this work, you can have vision all day long, but you kind of need the money, don't you, Jared, to make it work. And I know that's why so many of you are here tonight in the room to continue that support that is so desperately needed. So my friend, I'm so proud of you. Keep up the great work. You have certainly left a wonderful legacy for this community, and we thank you.
Next piece is called Thriving. What does success look like after 25 years of plowing and scraping and fighting back tears, giving to those who can't return the favor, staying true to my purpose, I still take care of my neighbor. Thriving, surviving, realizing that it's not about me. Soteria, salvation is God's priority. Never being too fixed, I have adaptability. Move in silence so that all can see. Prayer is the key that unlocks closed doors. Doors that are closed, sometimes God chose to strengthen and exercise faith. Patience is a virtue, so don't get in haste. Haste is hurry, so don't you worry. Peace and trust is part of the story. Now don't forget justice. She's legally blind. Just the taste of fairness has kept us in line. Do you like my allegory? I did it in a rhyme. I'm thriving. Thriving in community. Greenville is my home. God is really God. Let him sit on his throne. In closing, I'll consider your comfort zone. Going through a fire and not getting burned. Investigate what you delegate is a lesson learned. Some things are rare. And as rare as they seem, we thrive after the devastation of Hurricane Helene. We clean, we gave, some gave all they had. Yeah, that Greenville, we're back, we're back.
Now those poems are for auction tonight too, right? Autograph, okay. Powerful. I'm just overwhelmed by knowing you, my brother. You've given it all. The journey continues. Veteran Henry Thomas enrolled in Soteria's residential reentry program in March of 2023. After his first 30 days in the program, he sought employment at the Peace Center and became their very first second chance hire. A year and a half later, Henry has graduated Soteria's 12-month program, utilized Soteria's match savings program, I like that, to purchase a car and moved into one of Soteria's affordable housing rentals. Henry is still a beloved staff member of the Peace Center and regularly gives back to the community. Please join me in welcoming Henry Thomas.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Henry Thomas, and I'm from Walterboro, South Carolina, so I'm not too far from it. I came to Soteria after doing 50 years in the Department of Corrections. I was unsure what I wanted to do after I got released. So I was talking to my sister one day who previously lived in Greenville that knew Jerry Blessing gang. She said, well, I don't know. You can go to Greenville and get in touch with Jerry and he might get you his program. So I applied. I looked on the website. I was at Clarendon County Detention Center. I looked upon the website and I said, that looks like something I'd like to join right there. So I found out more about Soteria's reentry program. I liked what I saw. I applied and was accepted. This was the best decision I ever made in my life. I've been able to receive life skills, financial independence. During my stay at Soteria, I became the resident house manager. I became employed in the Peace Center where I'm still employed. I purchased a car after being in the program for 6 months. I graduated from the one-year program in June and I've been one of Soteria's low-income rentals. Thank you, Soteria, for helping me reintegrate back into society and to become a productive citizen. I love you, Jerry. I love everybody that's in Soteria. And for my guys that's in Soteria, make it work.
Now, Jerry has been a constant companion of mine in this journey of transforming communities. We call it community economic development. Jerry was a member of my board and also helped to guide SCASA, our organization, who's now celebrating 30 years. So we're kind of in a companionship here. And this journey has been one that we sometimes cry on each other's shoulder, but also inspire each other. Jerry, you may not know, has testified before Congress. He has played a major role in getting legislation passed for expungement here in South Carolina. And he is just well respected, not only here in South Carolina, but throughout the country. I get calls from people that want to meet him and telling me about what they have learned from not only Jerry, but the work that he's doing through Soteria. So I'd like you to put your hands together to hear a few words beyond poetry from our friend, Jerry Blessing.
Good evening, everyone.
I am so thankful that you all are here. I would not be here if you were not here. Thankful for family, all my friends, donors, those who left, and those who stayed. There's something about people who leave our lives. Sometimes it's good, because if things didn't leave, we'd be walking around town looking at buildings with scaffolding around them. Y'all know what scaffolding is, right? It's the thing that they help build the building. So once the building is built, the scaffolding leaves. And so we have to remember that people come and people go, and I'm thankful for that. But I'm thankful for the people that stayed. I'm thankful for you. I'm going to come back and chat a little bit with y'all, but I want to introduce another friend of mine. I want him to say a few words. This is my buddy Raymond Bumbo. Raymond came all the way from Liberia, West Africa, to be here tonight. I met Raymond in 2019 when I did a missions trip to Liberia to go in and teach some pastors how to do correctional ministry. It was a week-long trip, and Raymond was one of those guys that was in the trip, was on the trip. And Raymond and I caught each other's attention, and he sat in a couple of the workshops I did on community development and reentry. And Raymond started following me around. And he wanted to come to America, and he wanted to do our model, and so when I left Africa, Raymond and I stayed in touch. And before I knew it, Raymond was doing some of the things that I taught in my workshop, A Man After My Own Heart. And so when Raymond heard that we were having a 25th year anniversary, he wanted to come over and get some training. So he's been in the U.S. for about 3 weeks now, sitting at my feet and learning. I'm almost tired of Raymond. I can be honest, can't I? It's tough, man, having somebody from another country, having to feed them, and he won't eat enough rice. I love this man with all my heart. Seriously, no, he was like, I gotta have some rice, man. But I want Raymond just to share a little bit of his story, because I love him with all my heart. I love his family, and Raymond has done a great job. Liberia is probably one of the poorest countries in the world. And when I went over there, it was like, oh my God. We went into the prison, and it was a prison that was built for 300 or 400 people. It was about 12 or 1,300 people in the prison. And Raymond visits these prisons, and he works with children of parents who's incarcerated. And Raymond has set up computer labs and all kind of things in a poor country. And he wanted to become a community development corporation like Soteria. So I want Raymond just to share a little bit with you all. Then I'll get back up and speak.
Please allow me to take a moment to stand on the existing protocol and express my gratitude for this incredible opportunity to celebrate 25 years of impact that Soteria Community Development Corporation has done in the United States of America, and by extension, Liberia, West Africa. It is truly an honor to be here today among individuals who have dedicated their lives to making a difference in the world. The celebration of 25 years of impact at Soteria Community Development Corporation is truly a historic occasion that deserves recognition and gratitude. This organization, under the leadership of Jerry Blessingen, has made significant progresses in improving the lives of formerly incarcerated individuals and those on the outside in the USA and Liberia, West Africa. I am a testimony to the hard work and dedication of the team members and supporters who have tirelessly worked towards creating positive change in the world. And I have had the privilege of knowing Jerry Blessingen in 2019, and his mentorship and guidance have been an invaluable experience to me personally and to my organization, Wings for Life. Under his leadership, we have experienced exponential growth and progress towards achieving our goals in capacity building as well as sustainability. His passion for helping us and commitment to making a difference has inspired me to strive for excellence in my own work. I want to take this moment to express my deepest gratitude to everyone who has been involved in the success of Soteria Community Development Corporation. Your dedication, hard work, and support have played a crucial role in the impact of this organization. I am confident that the legacy of Soteria will continue to inspire others to work towards creating a better future for all. As we celebrate this milestone, let us not forget the importance of continuous support and commitment to our mission. Together, we can achieve incredible things and make a lasting impact on the world. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of this journey, and here's to many more years of success and positive change ahead. I thank you.
Y'all, Raymond Bumbo is the real deal. He is. I have never seen a man work as hard as Raymond. Last weekend, he helped me build a fence. He thought he was coming and just following me around, but I love to work too. Back in 1999, when we filed it was 2001 when we filed our 501c3, our name was Soteria World Outreach Ministries. And everybody was like, you need to take that world out. You're not going to the world, you're from Green. You grew up in Lovell, Van Street. You know, I'm like, well, that's what God told me. All right. That I was going to reach the world. And been in Germany and Liberia and, you know, and now he's coming here and we're reaching the world. And we'll be in other countries. And, you know, some of you funders, y'all know, because when y'all look up our 501c3 number, it says, you know, Soteria World Outreach Ministries. We changed the name in 2007 because we became a CDC and we changed our name to Soteria Community Development Corporation. But the IRS said, we're going to be Soteria World Outreach Ministries. And sometimes we get checks still in Soteria World Outreach Ministries. And so I'm very thankful that I gave my heart to God. And I know we're not in church, but this is a lifestyle for me. It's not something I do on Sunday. I do this every day. It changed my life. It did. You know, changed my life, and I'm not ashamed of the gospel. Amen. This is the place to be. This is the meeting that you say, praise God. That's right. You know, seriously, it's, you know, and some people say it don't take all that. Yes, it does. It takes all that for a boy who lost his mom at 5 years old. That's right. It takes all that for a boy who didn't get to grow up with his daddy. It takes all that for a boy who grew up in the inner city. It takes all that. It takes all that when you grew up in the neighborhood that I grew up in. It takes all that. It takes all that when a judge tells you, you're going to prison for 20 years. It takes all that. You know, some people say, well, we keep hearing God and Jesus all night. We didn't come for that. Well, you're here. to shout it to the rooftops.
There you go.
For real, seriously. Y'all, when I started a nonprofit, I didn't have a degree. I didn't know anything about capacity building. I didn't. Board building, data tracking. I didn't have a bookkeeper. I was the bookkeeper. I remember I handed Deborah McKinney my financials. She handed them things back to me so fast. She said, we got to get you some money. You got to hire an accountant or somebody. And she did. But that's faith. That's faith. That's what faith does. When you don't have the wherewithal and you don't know nothing, that's what faith does, because it's something in your heart. Something in my heart kept telling me to go. Go, do, go. Yeah, we spend over $500 million a year in South Carolina to incarcerate men and women. $500 million a year. Over $34,000 per person. And those of you like me who got kids in college, I got 3, about $30,000 each. How in the world can a man on a nonprofit salary send 3 kids to college? Tell me. Faith. Faith. Just believing in what I can't see. You all got into this room because I believed in something I couldn't see. Now I'm going to believe it and come back home. I say this, I'm going to go off script, right? You're going to pull me out. I got asked a question the other day. Jerry, what do you think about the election? I don't know it. I know. But listen, y'all, I got to say this. If I don't, I will feel disobedient. God is in control. I know somebody, God is in control. It don't matter who is our president. It doesn't matter. Our country is divided. It's divided. Why? We're divided. Some blue, some red. Why? We all got the same blood. Why are we going through this mess? Now, if you believe like I believe, you will pray. That's all I'm going to say. Now I'm going to get back off my soapbox. Because that's it. And you wonder, well, Jerry, how did you get here 25 years? What did you do to get this far? How did you make it when you were laying in bed at night and the tow truck came and repossessed your car? Or the electric company came and disconnected your power and you had kids in the house? See, a lot of you don't even know that in the early days. How did you make it? Why didn't you quit? Because I had faith. I believe what I could not see. And I believe in America that I can't see. I believe in a community that I cannot see. I believe in people that I cannot see. Every one of us deserves a second, third, fourth, and fifth chance. What if I was still in prison? What if Betsy Librand would have never approved me to go back into the prisons? What if Bernie Zeke would not have taken my meeting because I was the previously incarcerated person? What if Bill Dowler in his Sunday school class would have said, that guy is fake. That can't be. We're not going to write him back. I'll let God talk. It's just jailhouse religion. What if Deborah McKinney would have said, Jerry, you don't even have a degree. What are you doing? What if? I just want to say thank you to every funder in this room, every person who's ever written a check, every volunteer, every mentor. See, some of y'all don't even know William Quick. back when I first started mentoring and having a mentor program, and I didn't know what I was doing. And I needed somebody to coordinate my mentors. I needed somebody to do things that I couldn't do. And this man gave up his time, gave up his life to help me. Y'all don't know John Whiteside. These are unsung heroes way back in the day. Amen. Men who are still mentoring to this day. Been with me over 21 years. Some of you know Denise Jones now. She's been with me over 17 years. She can probably tell you the minute, the day, the time, the minute, whatever. She says it often in our staff meetings. I told the staff the other day, Denise is like a light. Y'all remember when the power went out, when we lost power, right? Did anybody besides me go to the wall and turn the light switch on and forgot to light the power was out? That's where Denise is. If she's not around, you know when she's not around. She's faithful. I want to thank every staff member. All of my staff members, please stand up. All my staff I'm learning to let go. I had founder syndrome. I'm going to say it again. I had founder syndrome. The truth that you know will set you free. When you're used to doing everything, you're the visionary, and you got to make sure everything goes. I'm being delivered from that right now as I speak. I'm beginning to think about succession planning. What do I do next? Emergency plans. What happens when Jerry don't show up tomorrow? That's a hard conversation to have to somebody who started something while they were incarcerated, who thought they were the only one. But you staff members, every last one of you, I love you, thank you, I pray for you daily as you know I do. Because you are the ones that do the hard work. You do the hard work. I just shake hands and kiss babies now. Seriously. So I have a great staff, great volunteers, great funders. And I'm thankful. I'm very thankful that people love what I love. You know, sometimes when you start calling names, you know, like this person, that person, you can't call everybody. But I just want to say a couple of things because it's my name, right? You take my time. Yeah. And I was talking to my staff about it, just kind of reminiscing. Y'all, we had a list this long of people and things, and we got a timeline back there if you looked at it of all the things in 25 years, we still left stuff off. But I was thinking about the early days and funding. And, you know, the Graham Foundation, I think, was the first foundation in Greenville that gave us money. I was still at redemption. And I think about that. And when we started our Green Start, our deconstruction business, and actually it was our recycling business. Listen to this. I was taking a shower and I was praying. And I heard the Lord say, start a recycling business. I wasn't even recycling my own house. I get to work that morning. I get a call from somebody and say, hey, I read an article about this organization in Chicago called Clean Slate, the Carrot Project in Chicago, and they're doing recycling. They're going through the south side of Chicago. They're picking up trash, and they're taking the recycling and selling it. So I called the Carrot program, and 2 weeks later, guess where I was? I was in Chicago. I went to Chicago, and I got to find out what's going on. So I went to Chicago, and I spent a couple of days with this place. I came back, and I started a recycling business. And my boy thought I was crazy. What are you doing? So they said, we can start recycling. Nobody recycles. And so one of my board members was like kind of excited about it, and we got some recycling bins, and we called the school district of Greenville County, and this was right at the downturn. Y'all remember it was 07, 08 when the market crashed? I started a business. Well, I started a business because no one would hire the guys in our program. So what do you do when nobody will hire the guys in your program? You start a business, right? That's what I thought. See, some of y'all know something about me. I'm an ex-drug dealer. I know how to make money. That's what we do. And so we started recycling business. We bought some recycling bins, and we called the school district. And they were like, you know what? Our guys just left because the economy tanked. They couldn't afford, to pay them. And I said, we'll do it for free. We had a box truck that was donated to our organization. And we went around. We didn't have any heavy equipment, nothing. The guys would go and take cardboard and plastic and paper out of bins with their bare hands, load it up in a box truck, and take it to the recycling, unload it by hand. Every day they were happy to do it because they were following me, like the blind lead the blind. And we turned that into a business. And we did it for a few years. And the recycling stopped, and America started sending all this stuff to China, and Greenville slowed down on recycling. And I get a call from Jimmy Stroud. She said, Jerry, there's a company out in Des Moines, Iowa, the guys in prison are making furniture from reclaimed wood. She sent me the article. Guess where I was at in 2 weeks. I jumped on the plane. I went to Des Moines, Iowa. I love to fly now. I went out there and got trained. And the guy who trained me, I brought him back to Greenville. And Gacy had the CIL grant. You remember that? And we got $15,000 grant. $15,000. Can anybody say parlay? Y'all, I took that $15,000 grant and I turned it into a deconstruction business. And we started building tables and, tearing down houses. And nobody would buy the wood. I just knew people was gonna come and buy wood from Soteria. So I built another farm table and I put it downtown in the neck on consignment. And nobody bought the table. But everybody was like, I don't like that table, but can you make another table? And we started building tables, and I brought the equipment from my garage in my house, and I taught the guys how to do woodworking. I'm a self-taught woodworker. See, my background is in architectural engineering. I went to college to be an architect. And after 2 years, I started selling drugs, and I got real good at it. And so I dropped out of school, but I kept the design in my heart. And so I started designing furniture when we started the deconstruction business. And this is what happens. And now, 13 years later, we have Soteria at work. So Catherine Blunt came to one of our Thanksgiving dinners. And she was like, y'all know Catherine. She smiled. Can I help you? What can I do? I'm like, can you do? What do you do? She said, I'm marketing. I'm like, yes, marketing. So she came, and we had coffee, and she came to the office, and we talked, and she was like, can I change your logo? I said, no. But she changed the logo, and one day she told me, the rest is history. Y'all, this lady is phenomenal. Thank you. I hired a college student to do development, and my college student got trained and left. Anybody ever happen to you train somebody and they leave and go get another job? So Catherine was like, I'll do it. So Catherine was my marketing director and the director of development, and still is. She could probably go anywhere else and make 4 times as much money as I'm paying her. And she's the reason why we're here tonight. All the social media, the website, everything that you see in print, I owe it to Catherine. All the accounting to Lena, and my new bookkeeper, Miss Joanna. Well, I have 13 people on my staff now. We got 4 guys that are in the program that run the Soteria work program. You know, Denise, helps me with everything. She has 4 or 5 jobs. She does, property management, and she helps manage my schedule. Ken Rushing, so I'm getting in trouble. I'm trying to call people's names now, but Ken started as an intern right out of college, and he won't leave. He's studying his master's online just to stay and work at Soteria.
Amen. Amen.
I know, right? And so just incredible people that love what I love. I'm so thankful. I know I'm taking more time than I'm allowed. But I just gotta say thank you to the people that are doing the work. Y'all make my job so easy now. Now I can think about doing something else. Really? What's the next thing to do, right? Who else can come in and I can go do something else, because now I might be helping tens of thousands or 20s of thousands. The next thing is to help millions, right? So how do you help millions? Fill in the blank, right? So thank you all for coming. Thank you all for doing what you do. Where's Grace? I'm going to embarrass you. Grace is my daughter. Grace, stand up there. Grace is my daughter. Okay, you can sit down. So Grace just started working at Soteria. And probably one of the proudest moments. Because I never thought my kids would want to do anything that I do. I thought they just, I thought they would just go do their own thing. And, Grace was like, I need to take a year off of school. She was in college. She would take a year off, and hired her to work with me. She's doing a phenomenal job. I'm seeing the fruits. Those of you who are, I'm going to take my time, those of you who have kids, you think you're putting something in your kids and they go straight, they go to the left and to the right, but when you actually see your kids, you're like, they've been listening. Doing Helene, we were giving out food in our community. We gave out several hundred meals in a couple of days, and Grace was leading the charge. And it surprised me of her love for people. And people asked for certain things, and she would come back to the office. She would say, don't forget, so-and-so need a mattress. No mattress, Grace, where do we get a mattress from? But we'll make it happen. Grace, thank you, sweetheart, for being obedient. Brown lost my place. Watch this.
I know.
He said, you know how us preachers are. You gonna help me out, Bernie? Tell me what to do. Somebody. Okay. All right. So Bernie, I'm gonna let you get back up here. Okay? Just come and push me to the side. But seriously, y'all, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I just wanted to take a little time to say thank you because this means so much to me. 20 years ago, y'all, I looked at my tax records. 2012, made $13,000 that year. And I had a family, a mortgage, and a car payment. I'm gonna say that again. I made $13,000. A family, a mortgage, and a car payment. Not to mention my kids' lunches and groceries. How did I make it? If you go through life like this, if you go through life with your hands open, you'll never be broke. If you go through life like this, because money is currency, it's meant to flow. Can I give God? That's right. As much as I have given, I have received. I love people. I love God, and I love people. That's it. That's the key. That's the key. Love God and love people. That's it. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I love people because God loves them. We are his hand, we are his feet. I'm so thankful for all of you. And I don't say that lightly. I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful for you. I'm so thankful for my family. Some of my family is here today. And I'm so thankful that y'all are here, that y'all have been supporting me. I got cousins, first cousins that are like my sisters. And they raised me like my mama. Dad, raise your hand real quick. I remember, I'll never forget this. I'm going to sit down, Brian, I promise. I remember in the 3rd grade, I'll never forget this. I was doing homework. And I think Dad was probably one of the only people in our family at that time who had been in college. And she was helping me with my homework. Now, you may not remember this, but I was doing something crazy. You were on me, you were fussing at me, trying to make me finish this homework to help me get it. And I'll never forget that. It takes people like that. It is family like that that pushes us, that causes us to be in a place like this. So thank you, my family. I want to say thank y'all for everything, for being with me, for praying for me, for standing beside me. Thank you, friends, for giving. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your support. I could not be here without all of you. Now, with that being said, I'm going to let you bring this auctioneer up here. Okay. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much.
So you've heard the story, you've seen the evidence of what God can do through one man, joined by all of us to transform lives. And I would be here without Jerry. So Jerry, thank you for following the ministry and the purpose God gave you. So now we're going to introduce our auctioneer. I think we're going to have Glory de Lovell from Quartet.
Hello everyone, my name is Glory de Lovell. I'm an artist living and working in Greenville. I'm actually from here. I got to hear Jerry speak 5 or 6 years ago at a church I was visiting, and just from sitting with a big group of people, like looking at you, I was just caught by the vision that you were casting. And one thing that I just thought I would say briefly this evening is, as an artist, vision casting is something that we're working on and doing all the time. For me, joy is a really big part of why I make work. I try to evoke it with every piece I make. I really appreciate you sharing your poetry with us. We've been listening to art all night long, and it's just awesome to be in the community with you. So tonight we get to celebrate Soteria's 25 years, and Oye got to partner with Soteria for this art auction. So behind y'all, you'll see a whole group of original works. We got to hang it this afternoon with the 10 parts that we actually use for Artist Fair and other events like that. And tonight we get to share all this work with y'all. So for those of you who don't know, Oye was established in 2019. It's in a mid-century church that is over in downtown Greenville. It was founded by Ray Alfonso and Patricia De Leon and Signy and Genna Grushevenko. I actually started at Oye. I was hired to paint half of the building. So I started with working for Signy and Genna for 3 or 4 years, and eventually now have a full-time art business myself. So for me, getting to talk about what Oye has meant to me and what it's meant to be in community with Soteria is really special. From our first meeting, we wanted as a group of artists to work with a local nonprofit, and Soteria quickly became the nonprofit we wanted to partner with. There's something that is so deeply meaningful about the metaphor of reclaiming life and reclaiming time through woodworking and through the metaphor of reclaimed wood and materials that can be repurposed. As artists, we do the same thing. We live our lives and have experiences and synthesize that into objects, and we're just so excited to share that with y'all. I wanted to say too, as we've gotten to work with Soteria, my studio mate Patricia and I got to lead a workshop with the women of Soteria earlier this summer doing vision boarding, and one of the things that has meant so much to me is getting to share art in a practicing space like that. I'm hoping that we get to do that more. Next to each of the original artworks in the back, you'll see a placard noting how each artist speaks to Soteria's mission through the work that we created, so please read those. And the primary collaborative effort that I get to share this evening is a piece that Ray Alfonso and the men of Soteria created. And if you come up here, and we will talk about it a little bit. Back there, okay, we can, are we walking? Yeah, there, we over here. Yeah, it can start coming this way. So over the last couple of months at Oye, when I am working in my basement studio, I'll start hearing Ray's grinder working upstairs. It's like, okay, how and why is a grinder involved with paintings? Sanded surfaces, many layers, and I'd love for you to talk a little bit about the surface and how you came to make this work.
So you guys all know me probably. So my work is usually made out of malted birch. I'm not used to painting on reclaimed wood. So when Soteria said, when we started talking about collaborating, and I was thinking about the surfaces, and I was thinking I want the painting that we're gonna make to be half Ray Alfonso and half a 3/4 the guy. So I started thinking about old furniture and old boats and old things, and I told the guys, and they showed up a week later with this beautiful panel that they made out of recycled wood, and we put it up on my easel, and I stared at it for like 3 days, like, how are we gonna paint this? It's made out of ancient wood. I'm not used to this, because I carve and I sand it and I burn it, and this is all full of sap and who knows what, nails and glue, and it's like, it was terrifying, because I'm used to painting on a brand new piece of beautiful wood. And the guys came, and we literally laid it flat and started pouring paint on it, and they started writing on it. They started, and I got all of these objects, and they picked everything that is on this painting. They picked it out of a bin of objects that I have. And anyway, so I had this idea of making it look like an envelope. And they started carving their names on it, and started carving. And Jerry came to the studio, and he literally carved a letter in the painting. The whole top of the painting is carved, and At first he thought it was going to be easy, but he was there a few hours and he was like, this is very hard. Yeah, it's very old wood, probably 100-year-old wood. And it's like, but anyway, so I had a great time with the guys. It was difficult because I'm a solo painter. I'm very possessive and I don't have like anybody working my work, so it was very hard. There were usually 3 or 4 of us, and we were very tight. We were working next to each other, and anyway, so it was difficult and beautiful, and I learned so much from letting it go. It's like, okay, you do whatever you want there, we'll do. And after a while, we were like holding each other's hand. It was very beautiful.
So this piece is by Ray, Patrick, Woody, Oscar, Jerry, and Esau. And I just wanted to note that, especially with the effort of collaboration, I think it's such a beautiful note with everything that I've heard this evening about the way that many hands come together to make a single piece that's beautiful, and how those many hands come together to make a whole. So I'm really excited for us to auction off this piece, and thank you for letting me talk about Soteria.
I'm just going to take the mic and walk on out. I do not get tethered behind a podium because I'm a live auctioneer. I believe in auctions that are live. Have everybody been to an auction before? You know how to bid? Show me how to bid. Oh, come on. Oh, this is going to be bad. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I'm much like Bernie. I'm a call and response kind of guy. I call out a number. I want you to respond to me by saying yes. Yes, I'll bid that. All right, so let's say 1. How about 1 and 1 and how about I bid on the half? How about 2? No one's bidding. This is just a practice round, okay? 2. How about 2? Now 1 and 2. Now how about 2? 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Somebody raise. Thank you very much. Now how about 3? Now 1 and 3. How about 3? How about 3? How about 3? 1 and 3. 3. How about 3? 1 and 3. 3. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, you need some warming up. Otherwise, it's just like one person raising their hand. My name is Duke. I'm so happy to be here, and I can't speak enough to how perfect this piece is. The abstracted envelope, the layers of lives, of memory, creating a letter to their past and future selves. The interns of Soteria, this, and of course, we know, I hope you know that Ray's work goes for 5 figures. So just with that in mind, I'm going to throw it on the audience right now. Does anyone want to open this up? Just throw me out a figure. But be generous. Throw me out a figure to help us empower and sustain Soteria for the next 25 years. Anybody want to do that? Okay, since this is an evening about second chances, I'll do it one more time. Anybody want to do this? 1,000. Thank you very much. I'll take that. That's 4 figures, and we'll go up there from there. How about 12? How about 12.50? How about 12.50? How about 12 and a half? 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 We even have $1,000 bid. How about 12 and a half? How about 12 and a half? Thank you very much. 12 and a half on $1,500. How about $1,500 bid on 50? Bid on 50? Bid on $1,500. $1,500 bid on 15. How about 15? Go to 15. We're at 12.50 looking for $1,500. $1,500 bid. How about 50? Bid on 50. More than 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 15. $1,500. You know, I have to speak to something about this. Thank you very much. 15, 17, 50. Looking for 1750. How about 1750? Go to 1750. I do have to speak to something that Gloria said about collaboration being really perfect. And I think that in the incarceration situation, collaboration is the thing that frees us from the cycle of isolation. There's so much about this piece that I think is just perfect. Just perfect. 1750. Looking for 1750. We're at 15. How about a 1750? Looking for 1750. How about a 1750? What a 17 and a half. That's a 1, a 7, a 5, an alt, and a 17 and a half. How about 1750? What a 7? Thank you very much. 1750. Bid against yourself. How about a $2,000 bid? How about a 2? I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. We're changing lives here. We're changing lives here. And art, creativity builds resilience, and that's what I believe in. $2,000. How? $2,000 bid on 2. How about $2,000 bid on 2? How about 2? Go to 2. Go to 2. Go to 2. Would you bid $2,000? 2. Thank you very much. There we go. Takes a little time, but we're getting there. Now 2 and a quarter bid. How about 2 and a quarter bid on 2 and a quarter? What about 2 and a quarter? How about 2 and a quarter bid on 2 and a quarter bid? How about 2 and a quarter? How about 25? 2 and a quarter bid. 2 and a quarter. How about 2 and a half? Looking for 2.5. How about 2.5, sir? How about 2.5? How about 2.5? How about 2.5? How about 2.5? She says you can do it. And she's like, yes, absolutely. I love it. How about a 2.5? We're 2.25 bid. How about a 2.5? How about a 2.5? We're 2.25 right there. Looking for 2.50. 2.5. How about a 2.5? You know what? And bidding, it's like anybody can jump in. I always say it's like voting. You should bid early and bid often. $2,500. Not 25. I don't know. I'm going to 2.25. How about 2,500? Looking for 2,500 for chorus. Am I saying this right? Correspondencia. Thank you very much. Correspondence. Thank you. 2,500. Looking for 2,500. All in. Do not have Ray Alfonso regret. Let me tell you what, it is a bitter pill to swallow. Tomorrow. $2,500. We're 2.25 looking for $2,500. Are we all in? Are we all done? And you know, it is 5 by 6. So you might say, well, I don't have a wall for that. I bet you could donate that to the office of Soteria, don't you? I think it would be a perfect idea for that if you just want to be generous and say, you know what? I just want to make a donation. Looking for $2,500 last call. $2,500. Thank you very much, ma'am. $2,750. Looking for $2,750 right there. $3,000. And free all night long. $3,000 fee. We're 2750 for free. Out of free. 2750 for free. 2750 for free. 2750 for free. 2750. Looking for free. Looking for $3,000. That's just such a nice round figure. All those curves and zeros. 2750. Looking for $3,000. You can cut it with a knife. She said $3,000. Thank you so much. Changing lives, one hand raised at a time. $3,000. How much free quarter bid? $3,25. Are we all in? 3,000. Are we all done? All in. All done. A piece about the power of self-exploration, about healing, and about resilience, hope, all these things, about transformation. $3,000, last call, are we all in? Are we all done? There we go. Because Duke says, so $3,000.
So we are close to wrapping up this evening. This has been an exciting journey. It's been a transformative journey, and Jerry's going to give what we call the final word. So I don't know what that means. What you're going to give the final word?
Again, I want to say thank you to you all. So some of you didn't get the bid or got to bid it out. On your tables, you see boxes. Hopefully you have filled out an envelope and placed envelope in the box there. We're going to be depending on you for 25 more years. There are about 16 to 17,000 people who are incarcerated that are going to be getting out, coming back to our neighborhoods. They're our neighbors, and they need us. We cannot do this work without you. This is hard work. This is daunting work. And what I know now is that we need staff people and we need all kinds of supplies. We need housing. I'm thankful to say this year that Soteria became debt free. We have 18 low-income rentals. We have an office building. We have our men's transitional house and the women's transitional house, and we have no debt. Because the things that we teach the men and women in our transitional house, we do it in the office. We balance the budget, we try to save when we can, we buy discounts, and we squeeze every dollar out of a penny. And so we want you to help us. So if you haven't had a chance to buy a print or bid on or win this piece of art, we ask that you would give tonight. There are probably some more prints left. We'd like for you to get one. I think they're like $100. We may hang around for a little while after for some fellowship, but we really would like for you all to give something. We'd like to have 100% participation tonight. And I know you all bought a ticket to come in, but I want us to go the extra mile for the men and women that are coming back to our community. And they are coming back. 90% of everyone in prison will get out. And if we don't help them, who will? Who will? So I'm asking you that you would just reach deep down and do a little more so that we can help those who are getting out the first of the month. November the 1st is release day. December the 1st is release day. Every first of the month is release day. So we probably have about 75 to 80 people a month that comes back to our town, back to Greenville. And most of them have nowhere to live. And if Soteria was not here, they would be walking the street aimlessly. And a lot of us complain about the homeless people. We do. We complain about the people that are begging. We complain about the people with mental illness. But we have an opportunity right now to do something. And I'm asking you, I hate to ask for money. Don't make me keep begging. But thank y'all so much for coming out tonight. I really appreciate the collaboration. I appreciate you all helping us. I appreciate all of you for being in this room with us and buying the tickets. So thank you. What's next? We're gonna say good night. Okay. So, Chris, where's Chris? In the band. Y'all, this band has been playing for us all night, and I want Chris to come up and introduce himself and introduce the band, and then we're gonna say good night and let you good people go home. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'd like to introduce these world-class musicians, friends, teachers of mine. We have on the drums from Asheville, North Carolina, Justin Watt. On the bass, this man also organizes another nonprofit here in town. Is it called the Greenville Jazz Collective? That's Shannon Hoover. And I've known Lovell for probably 25 years, since we were in Columbus, Ohio together. From Charlotte, North Carolina, this is Lovell. Bradford. I'll try to make my testimony under 3 or 4 minutes. I want to open it up by saying just a real one powerful memory that I have from just last week. I brought my 14-year-old son. Well, we were flooded in Asheville, and Jerry called me. He said, "How can I help?" I said, "I don't know. Can you tell me a cheap hotel in Greenville where I can just work? Because I run a small nonprofit, and I have to work on my computer." And he said, "Let me call you back." And he called me back and he said, "I got your house. Your whole family can come down." I came to the house. I brought my son, and Jerry called. He said, "How are you?" I said, "I'm good. Me and my son are going to do some stuff or whatever." He said, "I'm going to take a walk." I said, "Can we come with you? Is it okay if I bring my son?" He said, "Sure." So me and Jerry and Raymond, we walked around Unity Park, 3 miles. My son was trying to keep up. We played Frisbee with Raymond. We heard stories from Jerry. We heard stories about Liberia from Raymond. And afterwards, I talked to my son, Dalton. And I said, "What did you think?" He said, "Those guys are so cool." And I will carry that with me for the rest of my life. The opportunity for my son to learn about service from people like Raymond and Jerry. You know, you just can't pay for that. You can't pay for that. And for my son to feel that he belongs, to something beyond just our little neighborhood in Nashville, Carolina, that he belongs to the world, really, to people with vision like this. So I want to recognize my mom. She's here. Diana House. She's here. You can stand up, Mom. My mom was 20 years old when I was born, and she made sure that I had a musical education from the time I was 5 years old. If you would have looked at me, you would have thought when I was 10 years old, oh, that boy shows a lot of promise. And later on, you know, I did get a full scholarship to Ohio State University based on academic merit and leadership and musical talent, right? But I also made mistakes, not unlike some of Jerry's mistakes. I got trapped up in drugs. I think it was because I didn't quite understand where I belonged. I think I was looking for belonging. I think I was looking for attention. I was looking to feel accepted, to feel worthy. So when I was 20, I went to prison for 4 years in Ohio medium security prisons. And after that, because where's the one place that a classically trained violinist that looks like me could learn to play the violin like you heard me play a little while ago? There's probably only one place in America, and it's prison. And I'm not going to explain the irony of that to you if you don't get it. But really, it was in prison that I played in church, right? I played in black churches, predominantly black churches in prison, and I fell in love with the music. And there were people in prison from far less privilege than me that protected me and mentored me. And as they say, I found wisdom in the valleys. And it's as if you're waking up every day and coming off your bed and looking out and you see the world. And then one day, you turn around and you look through a different window and you see there's so much more to the world, to truth, to justice, to knowledge, to spirituality, to manhood, to music. And that changed me forever. When I got out of prison at the age of 24, I hustled like crazy because there was nothing more urgency than the fear of going back to prison. That was the most scary thing I ever experienced. Every single day, I was fighting for my life. I had so much uncertainty. Not to mention what my mom went through those 4 years. I can't even imagine. But I came out and I became one of the world's highest renowned jazz violin players. And after about 10 or 15 years, I met people like Jerry who told me, you know, the real joy of life is in giving. It's in being of service. And that's when I formed my own nonprofit and started focusing on teaching and giving and serving through music education. Now, a year ago, I met Jerry Blassingame. And this was something I had been missing, because all those years I was working. I could never work enough because I always felt that there was something about me that was corrupt, that people could see through me, that they could see I was bad on the inside. And when I met Jerry Blassingame, I felt like I belonged. He made me feel like I belonged. And when Jerry brought me to the house with the men, and we sat there without exchanging any words and watched football, I felt like I belonged. When I met Henry, I felt like I belonged. Henry made me feel like I belonged. Every one of those men in that room made me feel like I belong. If you are in this room, you may own a business, you may have a lot of money, but money does not buy you belonging. And I want to tell you, if you are in this room right now, I see you. I don't see your mistakes. You belong. You belong right here. This community that Jerry has created, the purity of his motivation, as he said, it's a lifestyle. Whether you go to church or not, whether you vote for Harris or Trump, whether you're black or white, whether you're rich or poor, if you're in this room, you belong.
Thank you very much.
Well, as the band is ready to play, I'd just like to share my thank you for allowing me to travel this journey with you this evening, and looking forward to the next 25 years and what God has in store for us. So everyone, enjoy the rest of the evening.
I know. apparently Jerry said they're listening. He said tonight. So where are they? Okay.
We're just hoping the bin right there. Because we're enjoying the empty nest.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Sure, he knows it. We just got it. We got it back, and then it went away.
I can't tell you how many people have switched to AT&T.
We almost did, but AT&T was out for all they could do.
Everyone, heck, we had I had this little 5G hotspot that I let all my neighbors borrow because they could still get it. It's like,
so you had a good enough signal. Our signal so bad.
Where do you guys live?
We live in Northwood Hills, which is right near Lovell. It's not far from it. It's just a really lots of trees.
That makes a 9? Yes.
What are you?
I'm a 7. You guys in Oh, really? I need to get you guys together there. You're doing like coaching and counseling in Enneagram? Okay. Yeah. But not anymore. Okay. All right. Maybe we need to work it out a little bit.
It makes it a lot easier for because
you're the perfectionist, right? Like so. He is, right? Right. So she tells you how this to be, and you're like, all right, I'll get it right. So, it's an 8-wing. No lobster. Oh, really? They did it? Yeah. Parts is probably yes. Yes. Right. Does it work? Yeah, it's helpful. I had a coach walk me through some stuff. David King does it in this ministry that I've been involved in. Absolutely. Yes. And over. Francis is a 2. Yeah, she's a 2. Yeah. Do it. Here are you guys in now? Okay. Love to hear about it. What the moves are. I'm around the next few weeks. I'm not traveling for a while, so we got coffee.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You got a place close by.
Yeah, I see Margaret in there a lot.
She's addicted to this.
It's a good addiction. Oh yeah, I did hear that. I haven't been inside it. That was a long time coming.
You never came out to see us the other day.
Oh, good. Good. I haven't seen the picture in a while. I just mentioned it. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good night. I mentioned him just the other day. It's in Pittsburgh, so living city. He's not. He's in. Where is he now? I knew it wasn't New York City. He's still connected.
Yeah, I'll reach out to you.
Yeah, please do. I can tell. I like a lot of people that are here tonight.
He is not.
Hey, YouTube, thanks for tuning in.
Denise, I'm passing you. I gotta have him assist me. I'm good. Very nice to see you.